Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999 requires you to have arrangements for the monitoring and review of preventative and protective measures. HSE guidance and the UKLA Good Practice Guide set out the fluid quality checks which should be undertaken. By keeping records of these, you can demonstrate your fluid quality management programme is working and where you have taken corrective action.
You need to keep the test results because you can use them as a kind of a trend analysis for problem solving. It also gives a lot of confidence to the operators to the condition of the fluid that they're using.
Yeah, it does send a good message. It shows us that we're not cutting with fluids that are like years old, out of date, that we know what we're actually cutting with.
So it's really important that we keep accurate records because we need to know what's happened on the machines and we know if there's been any changes and therefore tracking that impact of that in manufacturing.
It's also important to keep a note of any actions that we've taken, especially if it involves any system treatments such as biocides.
If you don't already have these procedures in place, you should implement the recording of your sampling straight away. Keep it simple and clear, and this should become part of what you do for a safe place of work. Here's an example of how you can record the results of your metalworking fluid checks. Record the results of the different checks on a coolant management chart and check for any trends suggesting consistent changes in fluid quality. The coolant management chart can be pre-printed with the acceptable operating range for concentration, pH, etc., which helps to identify deterioration in the fluid. Act on the results of the checks which are outside of the recommended operating conditions for the metalworking fluid. Record the corrective actions taken to adjust the quality of the metalworking fluid and when these changes were made. Refer to the UKLA Good Practice Guide as well as the HSE MWF Metalworking COSH Essential Series. Your fluid supplier will also provide further information and advice on actions to take to maintain the quality of the metalworking fluid.
Everywhere's different, every workshop has different practical means. So it can be as simple as a chart on the actual machine where it's visible, so you can see the trend analysis over time. But also there's much more sophisticated sort of electronic sort of means as well, which can be used.
At the end of the day, recording your results shouldn't become a chore. It should be seen as an essential part of keeping the health and safety of your workplace monitored and visible.
So when I see people taking measurements and taking accurate records on the machines, that's how we get confidence, that's how we get consistency, and that's how we then spot early if there's anything that's changed on that piece of equipment.